Do you want anything for yourself?
Do I want anything for myself?
I don't. I want my fastback. I'll take that.
My fast?
My Mustang fastback.
Oh, got it. Oh, that one that you have on your phone, right? I think you have it on your phone
right
right
now.
Yeah.
Dude, I want a couple of things, but other than that, you know what I want to do in this stage of my life? Oh, my dad's gonna see this, but my dad, he gave me a number the other day.
Okay.
Which he don't talk like this, but you know how much he owes on his house? 30 grand.
That's not bad.
Exactly. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
You fucked up by putting that in the universe, bro, because I'm gonna get it. I was like, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to renovate my mom's house.
Yeah,
you know
things like that, you know,
bro.
When you talk about things that you want, I think less on materialistic items and more on impact that I can do.
Yeah,
I think that's more of, if you were to ask me, like, what do you want in life? I think I would rather change people's lives and be an impact. Instead of taking something, I would rather leave something. And I think that's the way that I would want to be remembered by is, you know, man, he did that, you know, like if it wasn't for this, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's not about what you take, it's about what you leave, you know, and we're all looking at this, you know, building a legacy. We talk about, oh, we want to build an empire, want to build a legacy and stuff like that. But I think just if I can impact people's lives and just be a positive influence overall, I think that's huge, man. I mean, we have our great conversations on that, you know, and I want you to be able to have a conversation with me and not feel like you got to go hit the bottle, or not feel like you got to go dial back into any substance that you had, or not feel like you want to keep sleeping, or not feel like you're going to take the day off. I want you to have a conversation with me, and I want you to get off that phone and be like, I need to go get this shit. I need to go get it twice, 3 times. You know why? Because he's doing it. And look, everything he's gone through. I want you to be better than me, ultimately, you know? And I just think that that's the biggest thing that I could probably leave is that, you know, is just being an impact and being an influence on somebody's life is forever going to be the number one thing that I want to be able to do. You know, I've gone through a lot of mishaps. I've gone through a lot of, you know, turmoil, a lot of setbacks. I've had a few rough patches in my life, man, massive rough patches. Losing my parents, you know, we didn't even touch on that, man. I lost my parents. My dad's coming up on 10 years in July. My mom just passed 5 years in March.
Sorry to hear all that, man.
It's all good, brother. I appreciate you, man. We've talked a little bit about it. But I think that when I was young and, you know, 14, 15 years old, I think that that's one thing that I really was thinking that I needed to do. I think that that's like the pivotal moment in my life was, you know, that nobody's going to come save me, bro.
Man.
Nobody's here to save you, dog. And doing things on my own was something that I felt I needed to do until I started realizing, man, and I think that losing my parents, honestly, is what solidified that you know, nobody's gonna save you, man. Nobody is, and you know, mommy's not here, daddy's not here, and you gotta put this on your back, man, and you gotta just keep pushing and keep grinding, man. So yeah,
it's definitely a journey, man, that you've been through. Definitely. A lot of people don't know that for a while, me and my mom weren't on the best of terms. Gotcha. So she would always my mom was very stern, and she was like, because I said so type of mom. And then at the same time, if you don't like it, there's a door right there, right? So I was like, well, I'm going to go live with Abuelita then.
Yeah.
I went to go live with my grandparents when I was about a sophomore in high school. And at that point, you know, my grandparents, God bless them, they were in their 70s probably at that point. And they couldn't do much for me, man, as far as like take me places, whatever. So therefore I started doing things on my own, like taking the Via bus places and things like that. Yeah. So at that point, though, I wanted all the sympathy from everybody because, hey, man, I'm on my own. You know what I'm saying? This is, y'all don't know what I'm going through and this and that. And I came to that same type of epiphany that nobody's here to save you, bro. And, you know, I tell people you start becoming a man when you start taking accountability for your own actions.
For sure.
And at that point, you couldn't tell me nothing, right?
Right.
My mom's such a this and that. And if she was like this and that, I wouldn't be like this and that. Now that I'm older, I was like, because I was a shithead at that time. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like now you kind of appreciate things a whole lot more. Taking a look back, I always say this with one of my favorite sayings, taking a look back, then you could connect all the dots.
Yeah.
When you're going through it, you think that, oh man, the whole world's against me, man. And y'all don't know what I'm going through, bro.
Oh,
Because my
so
story is
true.
the hardest story ever told, bro. Ever.
Nobody's been through this, man. Yeah. No, I agree.
So you know what
That's for
what
sure.
I have now? I have just this bigger sense of appreciation for things.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the rough patches, you know about mine.
Yeah.
And I feel like, ooh, man, I made it out. Like I made it out of that.
Right.
So whatever happens now, as far as like, you know, the setbacks, and I know that there's like, you know, hard times and times that are, you know, kind of you have to stretch things and stuff like that. It's cake compared to back then. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah, wins, exactly. It's like somebody's best day.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
big upset. That's so true right there.
I'm chilling, man. I have like I look at the things and people say that a lot. I listen to a lot of Jim Rohn and he says like, how often do you look at the things that you have? But he goes, I'm pretty sure that you're focused on the things that you don't have. Right. You know, and it's
man.
It's
I
true.
love yours, man.
It's true, man. Yeah. And it's like if you choose to live by that perspective, then this life is a whole lot easier.
Right.
At the same time, too, it's like, man, I think sometimes you just have to let the chips fall where they may sometimes. What got me into a lot of shit is me trying to do things my way.
Facts.
Always.
Or on your own.
On my own, my way. You know, I wouldn't ride the wave of the universe. I would be like, no, it's going to go my way because I'm so good. I'm so strong. God made me strong. It was all like in good intention, but it was just the wrong like frequency. Of
course.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, man, it's just sometimes, what do they say? It's a good one. They say sometimes, man, a blessing too early can be a curse, or sometimes a missed blessing, or, you know, sometimes it missed right now could end up being a blessing later on. Or and it's funny when life works that way, when the universe works that way, it's like, man, if little did I know, like me putting myself in that position, which seemed like a hard thing at that time,
right?
It led me to this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
I agree with that. 100%.
The way that you just said, I'm going to piggyback off yours, which is great. It's only through divine intervention that things like that happen. And I'm convinced that way because it's like,
there's no other explanation.
Right? It's like you can, you know what J. Cole says? Yeah, exactly.
When this is it. Yeah.
J. Cole said a good one the other day. He said, you know, when the universe is kind of like winking at you?
Yeah.
He's like, this had to have been something. You know, this had to have been.
It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, man. So what's on the docket? What's next for you? Tell me about your goals and aspirations. Where do you see yourself within the next? I know that you have things that you're doing in Colombia.
Right. Yeah.
I know that, you know, you have your plans here. The next 5 years, what do they look like for you?
So to touch on what you were just saying as far as Colombia right now. So 2.5 years ago, I went to Colombia and I was out there for about 3.5 months. The goal there was to become a registered host for Airbnb.
Oh, sure.
So got that done. So now I'm actually like a registered host out there for Airbnb. Now,
do I get a discount since I know the owner?
100%. Family and friends discount. We should be taking bookings here by 2027. Right now, renovating an existing property. It's a multifamily, 8 units. I've added 3 apartments to it. It used to be 5, turned into 8. 3-story home, and so the play there, it's about 12 to 15 minutes away from the U.S. Embassy. So I'm in a very good area based off, commute time.
Nice.
So the goal there, this is in Bogotá, Colombia. And so Bogotá is very much like a Chicago, very industrial city, a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of traffic. But it's definitely not going to be like a Medellin, like a Medallo, like you probably see on the gram, right? It's not. It's definitely more of a city, like a city, ton of traffic, ton of people. But the thing about Bogotá is that if you want to do any kind of legal proceeding, start a business, if you want to register a vehicle, if you want to maybe not register a vehicle, but like if you want to get any official document in place, anything like that, you got to do it in Bogotá.
Okay.
And so my game is to basically attract the business professional, since I'm so close to the U.S. Embassy, because a lot of tourism, of course, happens in Colombia. And no matter if you're in Cartagena, Buenaventura, if you're in Medellin, anything really has to go through Bogota. And of course, if you're going to be a U.S. Citizen, you most likely want to go to the U.S. Embassy. And so my target audience is going to be the American tourist ultimately for dealings like that. So that's the play there. And then I also have a plan for a lot that I have in Sasaima, which is on the north outskirts of Bogota, Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an area that is called an Efe Cafetero. Basically, it's basically like a coffee zone, basically. And the reason why they call it that is because the soil, the where we sit. So Colombia is a very unique country because we sit right along the equator, right? And we have all four seasons there. So you can in one day see snow, heat, water, wind, and rain. So you can see it all in one day. And very terranean, a lot of the topography out there is extremely, a lot of elevation out there. And so, needless to say, the soil in this specific area is extremely rich, and you can cultivate a lot of different things like aguaqueterias, which are avocado plants, limones, mangos, naranjas, which are, of course, mangoes, lemons, limes, oranges. But we all know coffee is my number one, driver, right? And so I'm actually growing some coffee out there. So my plan right now is to develop that land to eventually get to a point where we can start not just cultivating the coffee, but also branding it. And then essentially get to a point where we can actually distribute on an online basis. The lote is called De Esperanza, and that's in memory of my mother. My mother's name was Esperanza,
Oh,
and that lot basically is going to be almost like a tribute to her.
that's
Basically.
awesome, bro.
And so it's going to be farm to table style, and it's going to be the coffee is going to be organic ultimately. And so the play there is to have basically like a bed and breakfast. So you can go out there and do una caminata de caballos, which is basically like a horse tour, like a horseback riding tour. And then just envision yourself getting picked up at the airport. You'll get picked up by our drivers. They'll be able to take you to the area, which is roughly around 45 minutes to an hour from the El Dorado airport. You get there to the space, you get there, of course, they'll give you, what you need, your accommodations. You get to stay in your own cabin, like glamping style cabin. And in that instance, let's just say it's a 3-day weekend, you'll be able to see exactly what it would take to cultivate the coffee from ground zero. So you'll be able to go and pick out your own bean. You'll be able to run it through the toaster, essentially, which is what it's called. You get to basically bake it in so many ways, which is like toasting, and then shake it, which knocks out the shell of the actual coffee bean. And then from there, you get to brew it essentially. And so you'll see the process from start to finish on how coffee is grown.
What gave you this idea to start doing all that?
Man,
Like it sounds like this has been in the works for a
I've been
good
working
while,
on
huh?
this since I was probably 12 years old.
Get out of here.
I'm not playing. Yeah, 12 years old. Yeah, this has been a mission of mine since. Yeah, man, it's been there.
That's
Been there.
awesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm extremely passionate about it. Just because now post COVID, everybody's like, oh Medellin, oh Parquilleras, oh the girls, all this, but Colombia is just another world, man. And when you go out there, hopefully one day you'll be able to see that.
I'll be your first Airbnb booking.
I would love that.
I'll be it.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
Okay.
You'll go before we actually book.
Let's do it.
Stay as a guest.
Yes.
But that would be the play there is for sure doing that. And then from that point, you'll do a full horse tour, a horseback riding tour, do of course, the process of how the coffee's made. And then like a bed and breakfast style, you'll get your food, things like that. And then literally walking distance to that, you have like a small creek where you'll be able to see natural spring waters. This is all on site. This is not like I'm thinking of doing it. This is literally on site. And then it's a small town, so you can go and explore a little bit of the small town, things like that. We have mud volcanoes that are not too far from there. This is all natural, all not man-made. This is all natural reservoir. And so, yeah, that's one of the plays that I'm doing along with, of course, the Airbnb of the home there in Bogota, Colombia. It's in El Barrio Primavera is the area or the barrio, the town. So a barrio would be kind of like a Hollywood Park, Chavano Park,
Okay.
Bernie, that's a barrio basically.
Okay.
Stone Oak. And so yeah, that would be that Airbnb. So those are my overall kind of dreams
Good,
that are
man.
going to be turned reality, and that now as an adult, I literally would dream of this, doing this, and then now I'm getting to a point where I'm actually making it a reality. And so my main thing right now is just lock into getting that done. So yeah, that's the focus there. As far as a plan local here in San Antonio, something that I don't think I've shared with you actually either is I'm going to be opening up a med spa wellness center here within the next couple of months, most likely. It's going to be basically a wellness spa that focuses on weight management.
Mm,
So we're going to be doing GLP-1s. We'll be doing also HRT, which is going to be like hormone replacement,
cool.
aesthetics, dealing with tox, filler, basically wrinkle relaxation services is what I like to call them. And we'll be servicing anyone here local in San Antonio. And so
Sweet.
Drip House is the spa. That's what it's called. It's going to be a wellness center. And you'll be able to do anything from peptides, like I mentioned, HRT, testosterone replacement, weight management, and of course the aesthetic side of things. And so
Men and women.
everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So the aesthetic side is for men and women. The weight management side is going to be for men and women. And of course, we know HRT definitely applies to women. That's going to be, I think, more on a performance side. So it's going to be, of course, for our athletes, but we definitely want to focus a lot more on our men, people that are in our age that are going to be maybe dealing with testosterone issues. And so that's going to be something that's going to be there. So that's also in full motion. We have pretty much everything in place for that right now. We're just kind of ironing out the logistics of things. But yeah, that's the play here, local in San Antonio. Aside from everything else that we seem to be getting involved in, which is real estate events on a regular basis. But yeah, that's my 5 year plan. The question I would say is 100% booking, getting bookings for sure for Airbnb, getting that ball rolling or getting it actually completed, and then at least be able to get the brand of the coffee established so that we can go online with that, launch online, and then open doors to the Med Spa Wellness Center here in San Antonio. And just continue grinding, man. I think that it's important to be relevant, top mind, especially here in real estate, but really just as a player. I think that here in San Antonio, we have a ton of people, a ton of talent, a lot of value that people provide, but I just don't believe that we really have a lot of movers and shakers. And so I think it opens an excellent opportunity for people like yourself, people like myself, to really just be impactful in our city as we continue to grow. And I
Sure.
think that that's a huge thing right now, just because I don't think people really realize what we're in right now. And this is a perfect storm in so
Mm-hmm.
many ways right
Mm-hmm.
now. And you only know what a storm, there's a calm before the storm. And that's literally what's happening right now. So a lot of people are still just kind of taking it easy, but you're going to see here within the next 2 to 3 years, things are going to blow up,
No ramp up.
and it's gonna be that, and it's really going to be the ones that have been locked in, persistent, consistent, staying disciplined on course, that are really going to be able to take advantage of that.
I couldn't have said that better, man.